Hi, I've been asked to demonstrate how to do the basics of a 4-club fountain, which as you know is the basic pattern for doing any even number of objects. So I'll speak today about how to do 4 clubs. I guess as always we'll start with the basics. Let's do the grip. There are 2 basic grips that folks usually employ when they're holding clubs. I've done a tutorial about this before. I use this style, okay? That means that you put the first club in your hand, you put the second one on top, and then when I throw the one on top first. A lot of people I've come to notice actually prefer the other grip, which is called the circus grip. Take the one club, put it in your hand, put the other one underneath, like so. Okay, so that this one is underneath the one that was in my hand originally. And then when you throw the one that was underneath. I don't think it really matters. Like I said, I use the over-the-top grip, but you need to figure out for yourself what feels best. And by that, I mean just play around with how can you best take the club that you want to throw first and get it into the air with some control. The basic 4-club fountain involves the usual that you've done with balls, and that is the inside-outside circles. So the thing that makes it a little trickier, of course, with clubs is how you get those clubs to cooperate as you're trying to make the inside-outside circle be pretty darn close to perfect. With balls, you don't have to worry so much about the rotation of the actual prop itself, but clearly with clubs, you have to worry not only about getting proper flip so that you catch the handles again, but you also have to worry about how this rather long piece right here floats in space as it goes from the inside of your body towards the outside. Keeping that movement in check is going to be the, not difficult, but the challenging part of doing 4 clubs. Let me show you what typically can happen with 4 clubs. Okay, so let's get started on how to throw these things correctly. I would highly recommend you practice in a place that has sufficient ceiling height. Yes, it's possible to learn this in a standard 8-foot ceiling, but you're going to be, especially in the beginning stages, really kind of ripping yourself off, because I would highly encourage you, I think most people would, to learn how to do 4 clubs with nice, lofty double flips. Don't do them real low, okay? If you do that, yeah, like that, if you do that, it just makes it so much harder on yourself. And if you can learn to do nice, lofty double throws, then you actually, later on, I think, learn the control that's necessary for tricks that you'll do with 4 clubs. You'll learn great control that you might want to use when you apply that to, say, doing 5 clubs. And think of this. If you can do lofty doubles, you can always decide to go back and lower those doubles a bit. So, first thing, please go practice in a place where you've got decent height. Decent height means that you'll want to, at least for me, let's take a look at the pattern. Okay, that's a comfortable pattern for me. That looks like as much as even 3 feet above my head is comfortable. So, of course, you'll play around with that. What is comfortable for you may be higher than that, maybe lower. But again, I would start off first by going to some other place other than just probably your bedroom. So, if the struggle is how to get these clubs right here to go from the inside to the outside of your body without getting all twisted in space and stuff, then reasonably the thing to wonder is how do you do that? This is a great little exercise to get you familiar with how you can in fact make a club go from the center of your body to the outside without having to change the orientation of the club. Because I really want to try to avoid a guard against doing that. In order to get the club to go from here to here, you do not need to pigeon toe the club. And by that I mean actually twist it like this. What you'll find is the motion of your arm in this direction as you're doing the throwing is sufficient to make the club move in that nice pattern. So here's an exercise you can try first. You're going to juggle 3 clubs, and then whenever you're ready, take one of the clubs that you just caught, throw it up in a double flip on the right side of your body, and then back into the cascade, and whenever you're ready, then take the club when you catch it in your left hand, throw it as a double flip on the left side of your body. Try that several times. Take a look. Right. That's what I'm talking about. And then you can also increase the number of times that you're doing that double flip catch scenario before going back into the cascade. Okay, as you look at that, notice that very simple exercise. We haven't even done 4 clubs yet. That very simple exercise lets you see that, in fact, you can take the club and throw it as a double flip without having to angle it. Okay? Knowing where to catch the club as the club is coming back down into your hand, and then knowing how to release it is just as important. I find that when I do 4 clubs, I don't catch them at the bottom near the knob, and I don't catch them dead middle. I catch it kind of center of the handle. If I do catch it high, then there's a chance when it's coming back down, watch as it comes back down, if I catch it in the middle, high up in the middle, then the knob itself could actually hit my arm. Do you see that? Okay, so somewhere middle is going to be better. This way you avoid the knob hitting you. Secondly, where in the pattern do you catch it? Well, you want to catch the club out of the double flip higher than where you release it. So take a look at this. Okay. Notice, as I'm doing that I'm catching the club higher than my waist, up, say, between my shoulder and my waist, I think, and then I'm lowering my hand down back to the original starting position before throwing it back up into a double flip. So I catch a little higher, lower my hand, throw it into double flip, catch it a little higher, lower my hand, throw it into double flip. And then when I put that together, or try to put that together smoothly as I'm doing 2 clubs in one hand, I should remember the same idea. Catch in the middle of the handle, catch it relatively high so that you can have time to lower your hand and throw it as a double flip. Can I please caution one more time? I would not recommend that you try the columns pattern, which looks like this. It looks cool, and it certainly is kind of a neat thing to break up what may seem monotonous about the fountain pattern, but it's a tough one to learn straight off, so at least I think it is. So I would go for the fountain. Hold 4 clubs in your hands however you want, using whichever grip you want. Then you're going to try to do 4 good throws. You want to have nice double flips, and you want what happens on the left side of the body to stay on the left. You want what happens on the right side of the body to stay on the right. You want to actually imagine there's a line right down here in the center that separates this from this. You want to check as you're doing the first 4 throws that as the clubs all reach the same relative height. You want to make sure that you're catching them in roughly the same height on each side of your body, so not one up here and then one way down here. And then you want to, of course, make sure that you're releasing them from roughly the same place. If anything doesn't look or feel right in those first initial 4 throws, then work on that until you get it. Then after that, you can do like 10 of those first flashes nicely. Then I would suggest you move on to 6, maybe even 8 throws. I try to do that, say 4, 5, maybe 6 times. And then from there, if you can do 6 or 8 throws, I'd go try a master run of 10 or 12 throws of 4 clubs, and try to do that once. Okay, I'm not quite sure what else I can add here. I hope this helps.